Hi everyone, it's Jess here. Are you ready for the next chapter of the Jesus Storybook Bible? I am. I've got a special friend joining us today. He's going to listen. His name is... Wilbur the pig. He's ready to listen. He's going to sit up here, take his mask off and sit up here and listen to our next chapter that's called A Giant Staircase to Heaven. Do you know this story? You might have heard it before. It goes like this. A giant staircase to heaven. Noah and his family lived in the land, and his children had children, and those children had more children, and then those children had more, even more. Well, you get the picture. Until there were lots of people on the earth once more. Now, back then, everyone spoke exactly the same language, so you didn't need to learn Swahili or Japanese or anything, because you could say hello to anyone and they knew what you meant. One day, everyone was talking and they came up with an idea. Let's build ourselves a beautiful city to live in. It can be our home and we'll be safe forever and ever. Then they had another idea. Hey, and let's build a really tall tower to reach up to heaven. Whoa, look at this. It goes this way. Yes, they said. We'll say, hey, look at us up here. And everyone will look up at us and we'll look down on them. And then we will know we are something. We will be like God. We'll be famous and safe and happy and everything will be all right. So they got to work. Brick by brick, the tower got higher and higher until it soared above the city, touching the sky. They built stairs in the tower to climb to the top. It was like a giant staircase to heaven. Look, they cheered, we're the ones. See what you can do with your very own hands. They were quite pleased with themselves. But God wasn't pleased with them. God could see what they were doing. They were trying to live without Him. But God knew that wouldn't make them happy or safe or anything. If they kept on like this, they would only destroy themselves. And God loved them too much to let that happen. So He stopped their plan. One morning, they went to work as usual, but everything was different. Their words were all funny and new. You see, God had given each person a completely different language. Suddenly, no one understood what anyone else was saying. Someone would say, how do you do? And the other person thought they'd say, ugh, how ugly are you? But it wasn't funny. You could be saying something nice like, oh, such a lovely morning, and get a punch in the nose because they thought you said, hush up, you're boring. You couldn't even say, pardon me, to check if you'd heard right because no one understood that word either. It wasn't easy to work together after that, as you can only imagine. People were always quarrelling and fighting and getting in a dreadful muddle and becoming grumpier and grumpier until at last they were all too cross to keep on building and they just had to stop. After that, people scattered all over the world, which is how we ended up with so many different languages to this day. You see, God knew however high they reached, however hard they tried, people could never get back to heaven by themselves. People didn't need a staircase, they needed a rescuer. Because the way back to heaven wasn't a staircase, it was a person. People could never reach up to heaven, so heaven would have to come down to them. And one day it would. I wonder who the rescuer who will come down from heaven, I wonder who that'll be. I don't know. We'll just have to keep on reading and we'll see you next time. Bye.